The following story has been brought to you by StoriesToInspire.org.
There's a big tzaddik who lives near Haifa, Kiryat Malachi, Rav Chaim Weintraub. Chaim Weintraub brought his 3-year-old son to yeshiva for Zupshern. It was a beautiful event. A few days later, his beautiful 3-year-old child was in Gan, and he tells his mother, "I don't feel good." So he lay down a little, but he wasn't feeling better. He was getting fever. They called his parents. Rav Chaim came, he brought his son home. He lay him down in bed, checked on him every few minutes, and at one point he checked on him, and he passed away. His little 3-year-old died. He didn't know what to do. They buried him, they had the Shiva. By the Shiva, many people were coming. Rav Chaim Weintraub was involved in Kiruv, trying to get people back to Yiddishkeit, specifically teenagers and young adults. And at one point, 8 boys came in. They did not look frum at all, and they weren't. And they sat down, and Rav Chaim was very happy to see them. After a little while, they got up, they moved to the side, they had a little discussion. And then one of them came over to Rav Chaim Weintraub, and he whispered something to his ear, and Rav Chaim gave this big smile. And then each one came over to him, gave him a hug, and they left. So somebody was there and said, "Rav Chaim, what's going on? What made you so happy? No one's smiling here." He says, "They told me that in honor of my son, that this coming Shabbos, they're all going to keep Shabbos. They're not going to use their phones, they're not going to smoke, they won't drive, they won't turn on a light. This Shabbos they're going to keep in the schus for his son." It's amazing. I was so appreciative. So someone who was sitting there said, "Rav Chaim, it's very nice. What they're basically telling you is that this Shabbos they're going to keep, but next Shabbos they're not. How is that a good thing? It's such a blatant, disgusting thing to tell you. We're not going to keep Shabbos next Shabbos, only this one." And Rav Chaim says, "What are you talking about? If somebody would come over to me and tell me, I have a way to get you your son back, just for 24 hours. You ready to pay? Of course. It's going to be a lot of money. I'll pay anything. I'll sell my house, sell all my assets, borrow money from everybody, to have my son back for 24 hours? To walk down the street holding his hand? To sit him on my lap and sing with him? I would give anything to have him back, even if it's for 24 hours. And Rav Chaim looked at them and said, "How do you think Kadosh Baruch Hu feels to have 8 of his children back, even if it's just for one Shabbos?" We don't throw away the good because of the perfect.
Enjoyed this story? Come again. Bring a friend. StoriesToInspire.org